Sean here from the Gray Curtain. We're going to be talking about a couple of condenser mics today. First we're going to talk about this guy. This is the AKG C430. And then we're going to be talking about the ND66. So starting off with the AKG, this is a mic I have used for quite a long time. Way back in the day I used to actually use these as overheads before I got my Earthworks. But now I use these currently for hi-hat and ride mics, and you can actually hear these in use on the Gray Curtain album. It's just a fairly standard mic. One thing that I would say about it is that it's actually very short. It's a very small mic. If you compare it to the EV mic, you can see that it's almost half the height. It's very bright. It might actually kind of overemphasize the high ends. I haven't looked into it that much, but I kind of suspected that. Obviously requires phantom power. Not all too much else to say about that guy. So over to the EV. This is a mic I've just started playing with somewhat recently. This mic has a whole bunch of little features built into it. So the first noticeable thing is that you can see that there's actually a button on the side right here, and this whole piece where the diaphragm is will actually move. So if I push this in and turn it, you can see it moves and it locks into place there. I figured this would probably be actually a pretty useful feature for live recording, so for on-stage applications. Where you might have just a boom mic, you might have a straight stand mic instead of a boom mic, and you might be miking underneath, and your ability to get the right angle might be somewhat limited. So that's kind of an interesting little feature that it has. The other two little features is you can see on the side here, there is a built-in pad. It's actually selectable, so you can go down, and it's on a minus 10 dB, and if I go up, it's on minus 20, and the middle section is to bypass using the pad. The other thing is that it actually has a high pass filter. Again, it's selectable, and it uses this little middle section right here. So right now, this is on the middle setting. So it's not using the high pass filter. If I push this down, it might be a little hard to see, but let's see if I can get the focus right. I don't think it will. But if I push it down, it actually says 150 right up in here. So it's actually doing 150 hertz as the kind of like the crossover point for the high pass filter. And if I push it in the other direction, it's a little hard to see again, but down here it actually says 75, so it's 75 hertz instead for the high pass filter. And like I said, in the middle is no high pass filter. So I'm gonna throw both of these mics on my hi-hat at roughly the same distance away. I top mic and I hold it back a little bit just so you get an idea of the placement. Then I'm gonna give it a quick listen and let you know what I think. Alright, so what did I think of the mics? So the first thing, and which was probably not going to be very obvious in the playback, is that the EV mic was extremely hot compared to the AKG when I was trying to set it up. So much so that I actually had to use a pad because it was just clipping my input. I didn't end up using the pad on the mic because I wanted, when I did the recording, I didn't use the pad and I didn't use the high pass filter. I just wanted to use the normal settings against the AKG. So I just used the pad that was built into my preamp, which is a Mo2 8 Pre. So that's the first thing to note. The second thing to note is that the AKG definitely sounded a bit like it had a bit more high end to me, although I don't know if that's the case, that the EV might just be a little bit flatter and the AKG might just have a little bit of built-in lift. The other thing as well is that it almost sounded like the AKG may have had a little bit of more proximity effect. It could just be that the AKG was slightly closer, but it definitely sounded to me like it had more proximity effect. Like it had, I could hear a bit more of the mic. It was a little less transparent. So anyhow, that's what I thought of the mics. What did you guys think? Did you like them? Did you hate them? Leave some comments and let us know.